internal wisdom, right? Because it's the feelings, the intuition, being grateful for them and receiving the wisdom that they bring. And one of the decisions that I made is I want to shift the inner voice that my children hear when they talk to themselves in their own minds. They say that the inner voice that we have initially is the inner voice of our parents. And either their own inner dialogue, the ways in which we felt that we were disciplined or quote unquote punished, you know, how they reacted or didn't react to situations, right? They say that that's the first inner voice. And so as I was having to witness certain things with my children are showing me things that I was going through throughout their childhood with things that we were experiencing, even though we experienced a lot of joy. But there was one point when I went into a depression, and so I see that depression in some of my children, that they picked up some of my stuff. I'm continuing clearing things. This is part of me being in the mobile temple. There's amazing tending that I have to do. And so therefore, a person doesn't have to look at me as poor for being here, or disadvantaged, or whatever things that a person, whatever energies people will put towards this, or even blame anyone or shame anyone, or hold anyone responsible. There's tending that happens in every moment. And so the sacred tending here is seeing the scarcity mindset that I had, seeing the way in which I did not take care of myself, seeing myself, my own internal abuse, blaming myself, punishing myself, opening my eyes and seeing how I couldn't handle criticism or instruction, how at times things were challenging for me to get myself coordinated, right? And so seeing these things and making a decision within myself to shift this dynamic, to shift the generational inner voice. The inner dialogue. And how do I do that? There was a video that I saw, very beautiful young woman. She was from India, and she said the inner voice that she heard of her parents, they always smiled. They were always encouraging and loving. They didn't raise their voice at her, or they weren't overly critical. Whenever they dealt with something, it was this encouraging voice, this loving guide voice. And that was her inner dialogue. And I'm like, wait a second, you mean the inner dialogue can be something different? Really? They could smile and do all these things. Now, mind you, they didn't live in the world that we lived in. They actually say that if any of us that are in America can maintain any type of sanity, that we are a guru. Because the things that we have experienced here are two extremes where you have to be a guru in order to be able to even maintain your sanity in the Americas. And that was something that her father would say. So anyway, and not anyway, but away, right? I started reflecting, and it's been a reflection that I've had for some time. The seed had already been planted, but now I see that it's time for the seed to grow even more, right? I actually went yesterday and planted calendula seeds, which I found calendula is a great medicine, not just for bug repellents, for mosquitoes, bloodsuckers. Okay, let me get back focus. So that inner voice, and how do I do that? You know, when I gave birth to her divine grace, that is something that I was looking into with intention, because I wanted her to always see me smiling and always be in joy. And then there were situations where she couldn't see that, and I was just like, ah! But it's still the intention. It's still the intention as I continue forward. And that's integrating more joy, more laughter into my day with all of the things. Some more wisdom that came in was to not care. To not care so much about things, about people, about situations, who's showing up, who isn't. And that doesn't mean that I don't care. That doesn't mean that I'm not operating in love. I'm just not having that type of care that tells me to take it on and be like, this person just abandoned me, or, you know what I'm saying, or these people just didn't show up, or this looks like that, or whatnot, or what have you. Or, you know, earlier today I was in a situation. I was really in a situation where it's pretty personal, but I had to use the restroom, and my son's girlfriend is back, so I wasn't gonna go into the house or whatever, and so I had to use the bathroom in the van, and my baby wouldn't get off me so I can get up. And so I was stuck, and I'm like, baby girl, and I've just been trying to just be gentle with her, honoring her nose, honoring where she's feeling, and things like that, and really realizing through her that some of the things that I care about, the rush, the movement, all of that, yes, I was uncomfortable. Yes, I was just ready to get up. Yes, I was just like, can somebody please, like, can I call somebody so they can distract her or what have you? Like, what can I do? My little precious one is sleeping right now. And it's more about trusting the divine timing of things, allowing myself to move slow when I need to move slow, to pause when I need to pause, and to be in joy in every moment. And is it possible? To me, yes. That doesn't mean that I'm denying the things that I feel. It doesn't mean that I'm denying the moment that I'm in, even feeling stuck. But it does mean that in that stuckness, I can find that the divine is always operating. Wherever I'm at, I can know that when it's time for me to move to that next moment, it's going to be smooth. And maybe there is a divine delay. And to be at peace with that, to be tranquil about it, to be happy. Happy on my way. I'm happy on my way. That was a song that this lady used to sing in the church when I was a kid. And it's an original song from that church that I was a part of, you know. And they would say, everybody will be happy on the way. You know, we'll be happy. And man, she used to hit these notes when she used to say that. Everybody will be happy, will be happy on the day. And we I'm not a soprano, but yes, she was like, or I am a soprano. But, and then she go, happy on my way, happy on my way, I'm happy on my way. And that's the place I want to be. I'm not denying or dissociating from where I feel in the moment, but I'm happy on my way because I know that it's possible. I know that I can be that inner voice that is gentle, that is kind, that is loving, that is wisdom, that is understanding, that is gentle. You know, doesn't have to be these rough riders. We all warriors. But we can be gentle. We're a gentle people, a gentle nation. We're not humble, we're gentle. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for presenting yourself. I thank you for watching this whole 13-minute video. A whole cycle y'all just went through with me. And I appreciate you. Peace.